Powers of integers. When a number is written with exponents, it is in exponential form. You can literally see the word exponent in the name. Showing the multiplication of the base is called expanded form. You can think if you see the number multiplied out a bunch of times, that's expanded. You're taking that first form and showing its meaning. And then when you multiply that out and find the product, that's called standard form. So here we have our example. We have 3 to the 5th. So that's exponential form because you see the little exponent of 5 up in the corner with your base of 3. Now, if we expand 3 to the 5th, we know by definition that's the base of 3 multiplied 5 times. If we actually write out that multiplication, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that is expanded form. And once we find the product, once we simplify and multiply out 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 243, that is the standard form. So all 3 of these forms is representing that same number, 3 to the 5th, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and 243. It's just in the 3 different forms. It just looks different. So let's try a couple more examples where we're trying to convert back and forth between the forms when you're given a certain form. For example, in the first part, you have 5 to the 3rd given to you. You should recognize that that's exponential form. You see the exponent, and we want to write that in then expanded form and standard form. In the second example, we have 4 times 4 times 4 times form. That's expanded form. We have the number, the base, written out 4 times. You see that multiplication of the 4s. And then we have in the third example, we have 8. So that's just one number written 8. That's a product of something, and we want to go to exponential and expanded form. Now it's telling us using a base of 2. So we can go back and forth between the forms, but it's important to first recognize what form do we have. So for the first example, we have exponential form of 5 to the 3rd. The exponent of 3 tells us we're multiplying that base of 5 3 times, so expanded form will be 5 times 5 times 5, and finding the product will give us standard form, so 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. For the second example, we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, that's expanded form. We have that base multiplied. Well, how many times is that base of 4 multiplied? Well, it's multiplied 4 times. So for exponential form, we have a base of 4 multiplied 4 times, so that will give us 4 to the 4th in our exponential form. And then if we find the product of 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, that will give us standard form, which in this case is 256. And then in our last example, we have 8, so that's standard form, and it wants us to write it in exponential and expanded form using a base of 2. So it had to be more specific when you have standard form to know what your base is, because it could be multiple things. Multiple numbers can multiply to get a product of 8. So if we have a base of 2, though, we want to think, well, 2 has to multiply how many times to get to 8 to get that product? So you should think, well, it's not just 2 to the 1st, that's just 2. And then 2 times 2 would be 4, but 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So that's why expanded form is that base of 2 multiplied 3 times. And then exponential form is actually writing out that base with the little exponent of 3. So again, you have exponential form, expanded form, and standard form all representing the integers, all just looking different ways.